The Bride Comes to Yellow Sky, Part 4. Potter and his bride walked sheepishly and with speed. Sometimes they laughed together, shamefacedly and low. "Next corner, dear," he said finally. They put forth the efforts of a pair walking bowed against a strong wind. Potter was about to raise a finger to point the appearance of the new home when, as they circled the corner, they came face to face with a man in a maroon-colored shirt who was feverishly pushing cartridges into a large revolver. Upon the instant, the man dropped his revolver to the ground and, like lightning, whipped another from its holster. The second weapon was aimed at the bridegroom's chest. There was a silence. Potter's mouth seemed to be merely a grave for his tongue. He exhibited an instinct to at once loosen his arm from the woman's grip, and he dropped the bag to the sand. As for the bride, her face had gone as yellow as the old cloth. She was a slave to the hideous rites, gazing at the apparitional snake. The two men faced each other, at a distance of 3 paces. He of the revolver smiled with a new and quiet ferocity. "Tried to sneak up on me," he said. "Tried to sneak up on me." His eyes grew more baleful. As Potter made a slight movement, the man thrust his revolver venomously forward. "No, you don't. No. Don't you do that, Jack Potter. Don't you move a finger toward a gun just yet. Don't you move an eyelash. The time has come for me to settle with you, and I'm going to do it my own way, and loaf along with no interfering. So if you don't want a gun bent on you, just mind what I tell you." Potter looked at his enemy. "I ain't got a gun on me, Scratchy," he said. "Honest, I ain't." He was stiffening and steadying. And yet somewhere at the back of his mind a vision of the Pullman floated. The sea-green figured velvet, the shining brass, silver, and glass, the wood that gleamed as darkly brilliant as the surface of a pool of oil. All the glory of the marriage, the environment of the new estate. "You know I fight when it comes to a fightin', Scratchy Wilson, but I ain't got a gun on me. You'll have to do all the shooting yourself." His enemy's face went livid. He stepped forward and lashed his weapon to and fro before Potter's chest. "Don't you tell me you ain't got no gun on you, you whelp. Don't tell me no lie like that. There ain't a man in Texas ever seen you without no gun. Don't take me for no kid." His eyes blazed with light and his throat worked like a pump. "I ain't taking you for no kid," answered Potter. His heels had not moved an inch backward. "I'm taking you for a damn fool. I tell you I ain't got a gun, and I ain't. If you're going to shoot me up, you better begin now. You'll never get a chance like this again." So much had forced reasoning had told on Wilson's rage. He was calmer. "You ain't got a gun? Why ain't you got a gun?" he sneered. "Been to Sunday school? I ain't got a gun because I just come from San Antone with my wife. I'm married," said Potter. "And if I'd thought that was going to be any galoots like you prowling around when I brought my wife home, I'd have had a gun, and don't you forget it." "Married?" said Scratchy, not at all comprehending. "Yes, married. I'm married," said Potter distinctly. "Married?" said Scratchy. Seemingly for the first time he saw the drooping, drowning woman at the other man's side. "No," he said. He was like a creature allowed a glimpse of another world. He moved a pace backward, and his arm with the revolver dropped to his side. "Is this the lady?" he asked. "Yes, this is the lady," answered Potter. There was another period of silence. "Well," said Wilson at last slowly, "I suppose it's all off now." "It's all off if you say so, Scratchy. You know I didn't make the trouble." Potter lifted his valise. "Well, I'll allow it's off, Jack," said Wilson. He was looking at the ground. "Married!" He was not a student of chivalry. It was merely that in the presence of this foreign condition he was a simple child of the earlier plains. He picked up his starboard revolver, and placing both weapons in their holsters, he went away. His feet made funnel-shaped tracks in the heavy sand.